All right, so the first thing I need you guys to do, I remember a bunch of your names. It's really good to see everyone again. I know I got to see a lot of you yesterday. Can you turn the name tags so that they face towards me? All right, thank you very much. Where's Miss Leon? Oh, there we go. This is fine. I have this under control, so I just need the remotes for me. Okay. So, as you guys remember, my name is Mr. Lowe, and this is Miss Leon. We work with the Northern Indiana Hispanic Health Coalition, and we're here to teach you the follow-up classes for healthy hearts. So the goal for these follow-up sessions is we want to review key concepts that relate to having a healthy heart and maintaining a healthy diet and exercise so that you guys won't develop chronic illnesses later in life like obesity, heart disease, or even diabetes can be caused by eating habits and lack of exercise. So we're going to have, this is the first of the 3 classes that we'll be doing to follow up, and we just want to see what facts stuck with you guys or what you remember most from Healthy Hearts. So first I want some volunteers. Who can tell me what you remember from Healthy Hearts? Taquan.
Yeah, we learned about the lungs and heart and stuff.
Exactly, we learned about the lungs and the heart. America.
We learned that if you eat too much sugar, you might die of sugar cancer.
Okay, so yes, sugars can actually cause, overconsumption of sugar can cause certain types of cancer, and it definitely is correlated to diabetes. So you are right in that. Overconsumption of sugar can lead to certain kinds of cancer. Yura, what do you remember from Healthy Hearts? Anything?
That you have to eat healthy.
Eat healthy, yes, very important. And one more, let's do James.
The heart is made of extra muscle.
The heart is made of a muscle. Very, very good. So, with the heart being made of a muscle, which one of you guys can tell me what the heart actually does? Let's go with Rosalie. What does the heart do?
It pumps up blood and it makes your body live.
Exactly. So the heart's job is that it pumps blood to the rest of your body so that you can receive oxygen and nutrients. Very good. And like we said, the heart is a muscle. So just like any other muscle that you have in your body, it needs to be exercised to stay healthy. So you guys need to exercise. Does anyone remember how much time you're supposed to exercise every day? Antonio?
30 to 60 minutes.
Exactly. 30 to 60 minutes. Very good. Also, who remembers, we learned this last time as well, how do we tell, what's one of the ways that we have a healthy heart? Perla?
If your heart is beating fast, like when you're doing exercise, that's fast.
Exactly. When your heart's beating too fast, that means that your heart's not healthy. When people get overweight or when they're unhealthy, their arteries, which are the tubes in your body that carry blood everywhere, start to get clogged up with plaque, or what we call fat. All of this yellow substance is from unhealthy eating and from not exercising. So what that does to your arteries is, since there's such a tiny little space for the blood to pump through, your heart has to work a lot harder to push the blood through, which will result in having a high blood pressure. When you hear people say high blood pressure, that's what they mean. The blood cannot get through the veins as efficiently as it would. This is a really, really unhealthy one. It should just be perfectly clear. If it was perfectly clear, your heart wouldn't have to work as hard to pump it. So the normal resting heart rate is going to be from 60 to 99 times per minute. From 60 to 99 times per minute for a healthy heart. And if you guys keep exercising, your hearts will get healthier, and that heart rate actually lowers down. So it might even be 50 beats per minute when you're resting, because your heart doesn't have to work as hard to get the blood through. So does everybody understand that? Do we have any questions about arteries or blood pressure? Okay, America.
You know everything about the body?
No, not even close.
I can tell you, where does the saliva come from?
Where does what?
Saliva come from?
Saliva?
Yeah.
Okay, that's unrelated, but it comes from a gland. All right, Rosalie.
So we need the lungs to be there. What do we need the heart?
What do we need the heart for? Well, I can explain that with our next slide. So why is the heart important and what does it do? So we said it pumps blood, but pumping blood, well, where does the blood go? Okay, Devon. Exactly. Your blood needs to pump for you to live. So there's no questions right now, okay? But we're going to go through the circulatory system. So the very first part of circulation is breathing. So I want you all to take a deep breath with me. All right, so now we've begun the cycle. So you took a deep breath, which means that the oxygen has entered your lungs and it's getting absorbed into your bloodstream. So that blood that's red in this diagram, which means that it's energized, it has lots of oxygen and nutrients to it, it's going into the left atrium. So the top chambers are called atria, and then it goes down to the left ventricle. We know that it's a ventricle because it looks like a V. Do you guys see how it's shaped like a V? So, to recap, we breathe in, we get oxygen into our bloodstream, it enters into the left atrium, to the left ventricle, and then it gets pumped out to the rest of our body through the biggest artery in our body. Who remembers what that's called? America. It's got a funny name. Who remembers?
It starts with aorta.
Elijah? Aorta, exactly. Very, very good. So it gets pumped out through your aorta to the rest of your body. It drops off all the oxygen and nutrients. And then just for the diagram's purpose, we have it changing color to blue. This blue means that the blood is tired or it's sad. It doesn't have any more oxygen. It doesn't have any more nutrients. So it needs to get back up to our lungs and heart. So it gets funneled back into our heart through the right atrium, goes down to the right ventricle, and then that gets pumped back into our lungs to get more oxygen, and the whole process repeats itself. So which one of you feels comfortable coming up to explain this? Yura, I know you can do it. And if you need any help, we can help you, okay? So this is the laser pointer. Just press the yellow button when you want to point at something. You hold it down. So what's the first step in the circulatory system? What was the first thing? To breathe? All right, so let's all take a deep breath again. And where are we going after we breathe? What's that called? So this is the left side. I know it's a little confusing because it's reversed. So the top two chambers, does anyone remember what they're called? America.
Atrium.
Atrium, exactly. So this is your left atrium. Where's it going down?
Right.
The left.
The left.
And what's the V stand for?
Ventricle.
Ventricle, exactly. So the blood is entering from your lungs into your left atrium, your left ventricle, and then it's going to go out in the biggest artery in your body. What's that called, Yura?
The aorta.
Aorta, exactly. So then from the aorta, what's it doing when it gets here?
Going through your body.
Exactly, and it's dropping off oxygen and nutrients. So what's it have to do now that it's all spent? It doesn't have any more jobs.
Rest.
Kind of. Where does the blood go back? It repeats the process again, but on the right side.
Did it go?
You just gotta press it. Okay, so where is it going? Now that it's done from here, where does it go next? Who can help her? Who can tell us where it goes next? Elijah.
It goes.
This is the right side, just to give you a hint.
Goes all the way until it reaches.
What's this chamber called? Who can tell me what this chamber is called? Do you remember? Okay, America?
Right atrium.
The right atrium, exactly. So this is the left atrium. This is the right atrium. This is the left ventricle. What's this guy?
The right ventricle.
Exactly. And then from the right ventricle, Yura, where is it going now? The very last step, it repeats itself. Back to the lungs, exactly. And then what's it doing back in the lungs when it gets there?
Going back to the.
It's getting something from the lungs. What's oxygen, exactly. So let's give Yura a hand for being brave enough to come and try. It's definitely not easy. Yes, Elijah. We only have time for one volunteer. I'm sorry, bud. So moving on, the next thing that we're going to show you is a video from the American Heart Association. that shows you what to do in an emergency if someone falls down and they're not breathing or their heart's not working. Okay, so who can tell me what's the first step, the most important? You can all say it together.
Call 911.
Exactly. Call 911. That is the first step that you guys need to do in any emergency. Or if you guys can't call 911, ask someone to if you don't have a phone. So that's the most important step in any emergency. So there's a question that I've really wanted to ask you guys to follow up since the last time we did this class. Remember when we gave parent handouts?
Yes.
Okay. What did that do for your parents? Did they read them? Did it change what they were buying, what you guys were eating at all? Okay, America, why don't you tell us?
My mom stopped drinking Coke and she started losing weight before drinking a lot of water.
Drink more water? Excellent. So that's exactly one of the goals of this class. We want you guys to stop drinking so many sugary drinks. It's a huge problem in America. We get so much of our calories just from soda and fruit juices, and we actually aren't getting the nutrients we need from real foods. Yura.
My grandma, she stopped smoking, they stopped drinking, and stopped drinking Pepsi and stopped drinking a lot of water.
Started drinking a lot of water and she quit smoking? That's awesome. So that's one of the best things that you can do for your health is to, one, drink water, and then also, if you're a smoker, to stop smoking. Anybody else? What changed with your family after taking the Healthy Hearts class? Let's go to Quan.
My mom, like, you know how you cook food on like, you know how you fry food and it gives you all the little fat?
Like the oil, you fried in the pan?
Yeah, my mom stopped doing that.
You start putting more food in the oven?
Yeah, and then she stopped doing that, and then she just started drinking a lot of water.
Excellent. So I think one thing that we've heard a lot, go ahead, Takan. Were you going to say something else?
And she started eating a whole bunch of veggies and fruit.
Veggies and fruit, awesome. All right, one more to share. Let's go with Elijah.
When I saw my mom, she started throwing away our cereal and giving us Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran? So you might not be the happiest about that, but that's great. That's a low sugar cereal. It's also got raisins in it, so you're getting some fruit and vitamin C. Okay? Excellent. So the next activity we're going to do, we're going to get your guys' hearts pumping. Let's stop being silly, you guys. Let's focus in, okay? We're going to go outside and jump rope. So before you guys get up, okay. Make sure that you get a jump rope from Miss Leon out there. And do not unfurl your jump rope. Don't unwrap it until we tell you to. So we're going to jump rope for 2 minutes. I want you guys to set a goal in your head of how many times you think you can jump in a 2-minute period. All right? So think in your head of a number. You don't have to share it. And ready, set, go. Thank you. I could not remember for the life of me if I did that. Keep going, keep going. Just Sean, if you don't want to jump rope, just jump. Jump. Keep jumping. We still got a whole minute, guys. Keep going. Let's keep going. If you need to up your goal, up your goal. America, I think you need a smaller jump rope. I don't think that one's working out for her. Oh, thank you. America, if it's bugging you, just jump. You can just jump. Exactly. She's got the big wedge.
This one keeps on tight. I can do
That one's probably too big for you too. Let's get him a different one. Thank you. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop jumping. Stop jumping. Okay, everybody stay where you are. So the next thing I want you to do is wrap up the jump rope a special way. So put the two handles together, hold them in one hand, and then wrap the rope around them. And then I want you to nicely give these to Miss Leon and our helpers, and then grab a bottle of water as well on your way in. Okay. So who can tell me, how does your body feel right now? What's going on in your body? Leonardo? Feels tired? Okay. James? Motivated and ready to start. I like it. Yura, what's your body feel like? Water? Your body feels like water? What's going on? Is your heart beating fast? Is it beating slow?
It's beating fast.
Fast. Okay, America?
Mine is beating slow because I don't know how to do it.
Don't know how to jump rope. It's all right. I'm not a very good jump roper either. Okay, so is anyone sweating right now from the exercise we just did? Exactly. So sweat is a really important fluid that our body gives off to help keep us cool when we exercise. But the point is with... Okay. So, like I was saying, as you guys move around a lot, your body starts to sweat so it can cool itself down. The water in your sweat, though, it needs to be replaced. So it's important that you guys drink lots of fluids when you're exercising or when you're being active. So, what do you think is the best drink to replace fluids that are lost through sweating? Let's go, who have I not called on? Yeshua. Water. That's exactly right. Water is the healthiest choice for you guys to replenish fluids that are lost through exercise. You need to stay hydrated because as children, you guys are actually at a higher risk of being dehydrated than adults because your bodies don't conserve water as well as an adult body can. And the reason that it's important to also keep getting fluids is because you guys are literally made out of 85% water. Your body weight is approximately 85% water, which is crazy. We're mostly water, so you always need to make sure that you're drinking. Do you guys have water bottles in your class? Some do? Okay. So that's a really good way to make sure that you're getting enough water throughout the day. Yes, Yura? That's fine. We'll get to the homework. I'll explain that at the very end. So I know a lot of you got it, some of you didn't. It'll all be made right at the end of the class. Exactly. So some of the reasons that water is important is because it helps cushion our joints, which are our elbows, our knees, our shoulders. It helps them work properly. It also helps our stomachs process food. Water is important for the digestive system. It's important to cool us down. And it also actually works as a cushion for our organs inside of our bodies. It helps them from getting hurt from impact. If somebody hits you really hard or if you run into something really hard, that water works as a cushion to keep your organs from getting damaged. So when you're thirsty, as we just said, water is always the best choice because if you guys consume lots of juice or soda, those have sugar, lots of calories, and that can lead to obesity and weight gain. So do we have any questions about something we covered today, dealing with the heart, circulation, or the jump rope activity? So Yura.
If our lungs get too much oxygen, will we die?
No. Your lungs, it's not possible for them to get too much oxygen naturally. You want to get as much oxygen as possible, so. Rosalie.
What does the liver do?
The liver? We didn't cover that today, so I'm going to leave that for one of our following reinforcement sessions, okay? So any questions with the heart, circulation, or lungs? James? No? Okay. All right, last question from Yura.
Like, if we have a phobia, like, and if what happened, like, what would happen? Like, what is like, any claustrophobia, like, if they think that the wall, like, the walls are closing in on them?
Okay, claustrophobia does not pertain to this discussion, but thank you, Yura. So yes, claustrophobia is what you're looking for, but that doesn't have to do with the heart or circulation. So last chance, heart-related questions for Healthy Hearts class. Yura, put your hand down, please. Okay, James, do you have one?
Yeah, like, what does the kidney do to help us?
Okay, the kidney is not part of our circulation or part of the heart. Rosalie.
So, I know, like, how I learned, like, how exercising, so, like, how much air can you take in?
How much air can you take in? Basically, with air, how we measure it is it's a percent. Do you guys know what a percent is? So you can be 50%, 60. The optimal that everyone wants to have is you want to have 100% oxygen in your body. Anything less than that is not optimal. You want to be at 100%. So it's not so much a quantity of oxygen you need, it's just that you want to be at 100%. Okay? America, last question.
How if it's 99%?
What?
How if it's 99%? Is that good too? Or?
It's still good, yep. Anything above 88 is considered all right. Anything below 88, you'd have to get on an oxygen tank, okay? So it's probably a little too in-depth for us. Taquan, is this an important question about the heart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if we're like jogging or like if we're like running, like if we're running down a block, just like jogging, and we're running too fast, and I said, wouldn't we pass that? Like if it was a hot sunny day and we were running and it was real hot.
Well, it's important when you exercise that you need to know your limits.
So like when we go like real fast, wouldn't we pass out from that? Cause the heat is, yeah, the heat is hot, and then it's all up, and then it's burning you up while you're running. Like if you're running around.
Okay. So there's a lot of variables in that story that make it kind of specific. But yes, it is possible to pass out from running because it's too hot. But that's why it's important for you guys to know your bodies. If you're exercising frequently, then you're going to know what your body can handle and you're going to know how hard to push yourself. So if it's really hot and your heart's starting to beat really fast and you start to feel sick to your stomach, that's probably a good sign that you're not getting, or that you should probably slow down or take a break. So we're going to go through the review really quick. So,
A way to know what is the maximum exercise that you can push
5.
your body
Okay.
to do is like when you're jumping rocks or running faster or playing soccer, you need to be able to talk. So I can be jumping and say, are you doing okay? I say, yes, I'm okay. But if you're like, so that means that you're pushing your heart too much. Okay, so that is a way to understand or to read your body. You need to be able to talk while you're exercising. Okay?
Exactly. So as Liliana said, yes, that is a good way to tell that you're working too hard, is that you're so out of breath you can't even talk to someone while you're exercising. Okay, so we're going to go through the review session now. So these are going to be over facts that I just explained to you guys. A lot of you remember them even from the last class because you're really smart. So the first question, whoever raises their hand first when I'm finished with the question is who we're going to call on, okay? So don't just raise your hand without hearing it. Okay, a normal heart beats what times a minute? I'm going to say Elijah.
It beats 30%. I mean,
Incorrect.
32.
Nope, let's move on to the next one. America, you were the second. How many times per minute does a heart beat healthily?
I mean, 160.
Incorrect. Antonio? How many times does a normal 60 to 90? Okay, we'll give it to him. It's 60 to 99 times per minute, which you got it right earlier, so we can still give you a prize. All right, the second one. How many minutes of exercise should we get a day?
30 to 16?
30 to what? Think about it. We don't want to do less minutes than 30. 30 to what? How many minutes are in an hour? Okay. It's 30 to 60. We'll still give you the prize because you got the first, but it's 60. Yes, 30 to 60. Okay. So the heart is a blank that pumps blood. Let's go with America. The muscle, correct. Okay. Blank is a gas that our bodies need. Elijah. Correct. Jashawn, remember the instructions. Don't raise your hand until I'm done asking the question or I won't call, okay? All right, this is the last prize. We just went over this. Water makes up blank percent of a child's body weight. Taquan. What? Nope. Let's go. Yura, do you remember what percent is water? Leonardo, do you know?
5%?
Exactly, 85%. Thanks, Leonardo, for being a good sport. All right, so that is all we have planned today. We're going to move into the handouts and homework part. So some of you guys received your homework yesterday, which is okay, and you turned it in. It'll still count. This is going to work just like we did last time. So whoever turns in the most homework and parent handouts will get a grand prize at the end, which can be like a basketball, thank you, a football, we had volleyballs. So you want to make sure that you're turning in your homework with your name on it each week. The very first part is a permission slip that we need your parents to sign so that you can appear in our video. And we also want to get some testimonies and interviews with you guys as well. So I need you to give this sheet to your parents. ¿Está en español en la otra cara? No. Okay. So if your parents only speak Spanish, next week we will have this form for you guys to give to them as well because we want them to know what's going on. So our apologies for not having it today. So this is the release form for you guys to appear in the video. We need it signed by next week. Then we also have the parent handout. You guys know how these work. You give it to your parents, have them read through it, and then sign it, bring it back in, and you'll get a point towards winning the grand prize. And then we have 2 homework assignments for you guys that are pretty easy. So the first one is a beverage assignment. This is just like the Sugar Savvy survey that we took during the beverage class when we did Healthy Hearts. Okay? It's really easy. You just answer yes, no, or sometimes to each question, and make sure, like always, that your name is at the top. Okay, this one's a little bit more complicated, so I want you guys to listen really well so that you understand the instructions. So this one is in English on the front or in Spanish on the back, and it's called My Family Health Tree. Taquan, are you following around? Okay.
Put the papers down.
So everyone grab My Family Health Tree, okay? So how you do this, and you're going to need your parents or your guardians to help you, is that you fill in your mom or dad's name, and then you put if they have any one of these 5 conditions at the bottom. We have diabetes, high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, or high cholesterol. You guys might not understand what some of these mean, which is okay. Just ask your parents for help. If you don't have siblings, then you don't need to include their information. If you have a brother and sister, but they don't have any health problems, write their name still and write none. Elijah.
What if we have more than 2 brothers?
If you have more than 2 brothers or more siblings, it's a great question. You can make boxes on the back and just let us know whether it's your brother or sister, their name, age, and then what they have, if anything, or none if they don't have it. If your parents don't have any health conditions, write none. Rosalie. If you don't know your dad, then you don't have to include it in there. So you can just put your mom, okay? America?